Members of the steering committee of the 75th anniversary celebration are fine-tuning preparations ahead of the peak celebration on May 7, 2025. The body met on April 2nd at the Pastoral Center to put in place strategies in order to surmount challenges that may stand in the way of the peak celebration. Today, April 3, marks exactly 4 years since the passing into glory of Christian Cardinal Tumi. In this newscast, we revisit some moments which stood out at the center or which stood at the center of the late Cardinal's ministry. And in sports, the under-17 Lions of Cameroon have recorded a point in the ongoing CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. This comes after a goalless draw with South Africa in Casablanca. These top stories and more stories right ahead. Good evening and thanks for keeping the rendezvous once more with us on the primetime news on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. Steering committee members have been encouraged to stay focused on their work and see all challenges as a stepping stone for a successful celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea. The call was made by His Lordship Michael Bibi during a meeting on April 2nd, chaired at the Pastoral Center, that is a conference room at the Pastoral Center. From our newsroom, Magdalene Wondo gives us more.
After the 75th anniversary celebration of the Diocese of Buea at the level of deaneries, the steering committee had an enlarged meeting to plan for the peak celebration, which will take place in a month's time on May 7, 2025. Vicar General of the Diocese of Buea, Monsignor Jude Thaddeus Mbi, gave a highlight of some activities to commemorate the 75th anniversary celebration.
With regard to the peak celebration itself, the major thing is the visit of the Under-Secretary of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, who will be coming to visit our diocese. That is really big. And the Christians are called upon to mobilize, come out and greet him. It will happen on the 6th of May. On that same 6th of May, at 11 o'clock, he will receive the priests. By midday, he will receive the religious. Then he will go around, visit a little in some of the places, like go to visit the cathedral, the minor seminary, the bishop's house. He should get a small feeling also of the diocese.
Committees had the opportunity to give reports on the level of progress made in various areas of preparation for a successful celebration. Proposals were made and resolutions taken by these committees regarding their functions.
It was a golden opportunity for us to dot the I's and cut the T's towards the preparation of the grand 75th anniversary of our diocese. And we are putting much in place. We have learned from our past shortcomings and we have upgraded, and it is a fervent wish. I want to assure all the Christians of the Diocese of Buea, visitors who will be coming in and out of the country, that we are, God willing, going to have a hitch-free 75th anniversary.
Various deans of the Diocese of Buea also gave evaluation reports of the 75th anniversary celebration in their deaneries and activities that were carried out. This meeting was put in place for follow-up and resolutions of the steering committee preparation of a grand celebration.
With regard to the planning of the event, the various committees have already been given their instructions, so they know what they will do. And of course, we know that leaning on experience of the past event, that is the January event, the peak celebration will be again more successful.
Steering committee members were urged to be ready to carry out responsibilities for a historic celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Boya come May 7, 2025 at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral.
From one story to the other, this time we want to look at the mothers of the church, where the members of the association, that is the Catholic Women's Association of Queen of Heaven Division in Moliko, have gained valuable knowledge on leadership. This was during a 2-day seminar which held recently at St. Charles Luanga Parish Hall in Moliko, Boya. Hilarion Tokov from our newsroom says the objective of the seminar, stating that the mothers of the church in this division are expected to apply what they have learned. Let's have his report.
The 2-day seminar involving members of the Catholic Women Association of Queen of Heaven Division, Moliko, had as aim to empower these mothers of the church on leadership and other aspects. Mami Frida Zinken, Secretary General, contextualized the objective of this seminar.
We are giving them the various skills that they should be able to lead their families well, lead the CWA well. So we began the seminar yesterday. A lot of talks have been given. One of them was on how to be a good leader. So Christian leadership was delivered, the qualities of a Christian leader, and what to do in the midst of conflicts. So they were all schooled on those aspects. They were schooled on how to manage the finances, which is one of the aspects that brings a confusion or a disagreement in the group, and how to be good managers. So they were also schooled on how to write their reports well, how to use the work plan that has been given to them, and so a lot of them were given to them. So the facilitators did a lot of work so that the mothers, when they go home, they'll be able to teach their children so as to become good leaders, leaders at home, leaders in church, and leaders in the community. So that is the aim that we actually organize the seminar for.
Wrapping up with this seminar on March 31st, 2025, the Mothers of the Church for Queen of Heaven Division gained skills on how to manage conflict, create peace, as well as project identification and management, as testified by Mami Cornelia Ta.
The entire goal of this seminar, all the topics that we had, is to be able to empower us, and we have been empowered on how to work to create peace. We have a topic like project management, project identification, and project management. A lot of people are suffering now. We see how the economy has gone down because people are poor and so on. And people say they don't have jobs. So we've been taught how to identify projects in using our own personal skills, our natural abilities to use it to create means and activities that can generate on us income to sustain ourselves, our families, and of course, we have the spillover effects that if we can sustain ourselves, our family, our children, the community, will be able to create income in the community.
The seminar, which ended on a good footing, was in conformity to the objective of the World Union of Catholic Women's Organization for 2025. It is expected that these mothers of the Church, Catholic Women Association of Queen of Heaven Division, Moliko, exemplify the lesson learned from this session.
And members of Caritas or staff of Caritas have met with the supervisor of the Social Security Office here in the Diocese of Boya during the session with the Social Security Supervisor, Kilian Sefomo. He advised diocesan institution managers to be able to report workers who are not under the social security system. From our newsroom, Nadesh Nenchungme reports.
Staff members of Caritas Diocese of Boya gathered at the Caritas building for a meeting with Sefomo Kilian to address ongoing challenges related to social welfare for workers in the diocese. This follows a recent communique from His Lordship Michael Bibi, who has been tasked with overseeing the welfare of diocesan workers and resolving their social welfare issues.
The step that we have taken this time around is to carry out a census to make sure that all the workers are inside our account, and to make sure that those who had problems with the account should be updated. So the bishop has taken this as a priority and asked us to do everything we can to make sure that every worker feels satisfied when it comes to benefits from social insurance fund and preparation for their retirement.
After visiting several diocesan institutions like the Catholic Printing Press and Divine Mercy Radio Television, he reassured workers that their social security issues would be examined and resolved in the coming days.
I think that the worries of the workers have been the same as usual, but this time around they are being assured that those worries will be looked into and properly examined. So they have been talking about family allowances, they have been talking about maternity leave, they have been talking about pension. So the bishop's priority has been to make a census to make sure that the account of every worker is updated.
The director of Caritas Diocese of Boya, Pierre Chindar, applauded the bishop's initiative and expressed his commitment to working closely with the Social Security Office.
To always come very close to that office that the bishop has created to seek advice and to guide us. The good thing, the good information is that all our workers are declared at the CNPS, and we are paying all the contribution and all the taxes.
Sefomo Kilian encouraged heads of diocesan institutions to report to the office if they notice any worker not fully registered under the social security system.
Institutions should report to us immediately those who are just employed through the Department of Human Resource. Make sure that let nobody stay at the job site without being registered.
The Social Security Office, located at the basement of the co-cathedral, works in close collaboration with the Human Resource Office to ensure that diocesan workers receive the social security benefit they are entitled to.
Faithful in Manfei Diocese have experienced this year's Lenten pilgrimage, a spiritual exercise in preparation of the resurrection of Christ at Easter. The local ordinary of Manfei Diocese, His Lordship Aloysius Abangalo Fondong, exhorted all never to lose hope during the most trying moments of their life, making reference to the current Anglophone crisis, but to have faith, hope, and perseverance, walking in the way of the Lord. The pilgrimage took place recently at Our Lady of Fatima Shrine, Mboka. Details with Sama Eileen.
Pilgrims from Manfei, Oyomojok and Guti Dineries converged on Our Lady of Fatima Shrine, Mboka, recently for their diocesan Lenten pilgrimage. The spiritual exercise, which began with blessing of the pilgrims by the Chief Shepherd of the Diocese of Manfei, His Lordship Aloysius Abangalo Fondang, featured other spiritual activities such as Rosary, Stations of the Cross, Confession, and Holy Mass. During Mass, the local ordinary anchored the first part of his teaching on the Jubilee Year of Hope and the theme Pilgrims of Hope. As true Christians, the prelate urged them to place their hope only in Jesus. Bishop Aloysius also elaborated on the blessings that precede this Jubilee Year. The plenary indulgence, he explained, can only be attained through true repentance, charitable acts, participation in the Eucharist, and praying.
The desire and expectation of good things to come Any man in the get down things who want us all good things. We don't come for prayer for here. Any man they hope never get good things. Despite our not knowing what the future may bring. Even though they come for prayer, we don't know what tomorrow will be. Even so, uncertainty about the future may at times give rise to conflicting feelings, ranging from confident trust to apprehensiveness. Someone to be overconfidence about the future, other one with the fear. From serenity to anxiety, peace. Man need to worry about tomorrow. Another one, the worry. From firm conviction to hesitation and doubt. Often, the Holy Father continues, we come across people who are discouraged, pessimistic, and cynical about the future, as if nothing could possibly bring them happiness. Yes, plenty time they meet up people then. We don't talk to them plenty time for the situation we don't go through for this side for Cameroon.
The plenary indulgence, he explained, can only be attained through true repentance, charitable acts, participation in the Eucharist, and praying. The chief shepherd also exhorted the Christians on the uniqueness of the Lenten season. He emphasized that Lent is a time for personal reflection and evaluation of oneself, their relationship with God and their neighbors. Reflecting on the readings of the day, the prelate urged all present to walk in the way of the Lord, which is justice, love, and humility. These pilgrims explained how important the spiritual exercise is to them.
I'm called Deborah. I'm coming from Bemes Parish. The pilgrimage was very nice. It was a good experience being here. The place looks so beautiful.
The pilgrimage was very, very fruitful, because I came with a lot of problems, and in the course of the prayers and during the homily at Mass that the bishop gave, it was very fulfilling. It was as if the bishop was talking directly to me. So I can say 100% the pilgrimage was fruitful and successful. So I am going back home joyful, hoping that my prayers are already answered.
In short, the pilgrimage was very rich. That's all just what I can tell you. It had a lot of substance that if we have to digest it, I think it will go a long way to improve on our Christian mood.
After Mass, a common meal was shared and the pilgrims departed with renewed hope.
We bring you back to the Diocese of Buea. This time around, we want to talk about late Cardinal Tumi. Today, April 3rd, marks exactly 4 years since the death of Christian Cardinal Tumi. The prelate served the church in various capacities, and his love for the truth, a sense of the common good, and ardent desire for the growth of the nation stands out as some key areas of interest that permeated the life and ministry of late Christian Cardinal Tumi. From our newsroom, Father Martin Jie highlights some of these areas of the late Cardinal. His report.
Fresh, impactful, and ever-new memories remain in the minds of many persons from within the church and without, in Cameroon and out of Cameroon, in the Church of Cameroon, Africa, and the world at large, of Christian Cardinal Tumi, a prince of the church. As today, the 3rd of April, marks exactly 3 years since the demise of the prelate. The renowned Cameroonian prince of the church, born on October 15, 1930, in the blessed land of Kekai Kelaki, had a very significant and relevant role played in Cameroon's religious and social domains. The mission and the plan of God became so evident when the young Tumi began his journey in the church after being ordained as a priest on April 17, 1966. Progressively, he ascended the Episcopal College as the Bishop of Yagua in 1979 and later raised as the Metropolitan Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Yagua. Later on, he took charge of the Archdiocese of Douala as the Archbishop. With his adherence to orthodoxy and veracity pertaining to matters of faith and morals, and a spirit of resilience, he was later elevated to a cardinal by Pope John Paul II on June 28, 1988. Being steeped so deep into societal concerns such as leadership and the common good, he served as the president of the Cameroon Episcopal Conference and the president of the Symposium of Episcopal Conferences of Africa and Madagascar, known as SECAM. As an outspoken spiritual leader, Christian Cardinal Tchumi never had to relent his effort in advocating for social justice, peace, equality, love, and unity in the country and the world at large, and to curb nepotism, corruption, tribalism, and many related ills. The legend passed away on April 3, 2021, and his legacy remains on the lips of the old and young alike, and to generations yet to come.
We leave the confines of the church and talk about an incident that happened in Kumba, where the senior divisional officer of Meme, Chamberlain Ndong, has called on the people of Kumba to remain calm following a fire incident that broke out yesterday, April 2nd, 2025, near the Kumba Central Market. Several shops and warehouses were destroyed as a result of this fire, and government authorities have promised to assist those affected by the fire. Nadesh Nenchomme tells us more in this report.
As early as 11 a.m. on Wednesday, April 2nd, a fire incident occurred at the Dubai Center, a well-known business center located opposite the Kumba Central Market. The fire destroyed several shops and warehouses, causing damage. Goods worth millions of francs CFA were lost, and numerous shops were completely destroyed, leaving many residents in tears. In order to prevent the flames from spreading to other parts of the market, the Army Rescue Unit and locals arrived at the scene in their gears. The senior divisional officer of Meme, Chamberlain Ntundong, was present along with the divisional officer to offer their support and console with the affected.
This serious fire incident. Let me first of all say a share to all the population affected, all the traders affected. I think the Army Rescue, they are there since to try to stabilize the situation. And now we can say together that the situation is under control.
The senior divisional officer reassured the residents that a report would be sent to the Territorial Administrative Ministry to prompt the Office of Civil Protection to assess the damages and provide assistance to those in need.
A mixed commission is going to be set up by the SDO right now in order to make an inventory of all the person affected by that sad incident, for me to forward adequate report to the Minister of Territorial Administration, who is in charge of civil protection. In the other vein, I will just advise my population to remain calm.
Chamberlain Ntundong also promised to address the situation, noting that this was not the first time in recent years that this section of the market had been hit by fire. He expressed his commitment to finding lasting solutions to prevent further incidents.
The second time at the same place that you are having such incident, I know that the forces of law and order are going to make serious investigation to know why this particular place. But is it that population are too many there? Is it that is electricity that is disturbing, coming up and down? We are going to know. And the city mayor, the mayors, all of them are going to work together in order to secure the population who are selling in this particular part of Kumba Main Market.
while the community awaits further updates from the Meme administration in the coming days. Investigations are still ongoing to determine the exact cause of the fire.
We leave the borders of Cameroon and take you out of the country, where we are told Haitians are protesting, asking for protection from the government as gang violence rocks the capital and surrounding cities. Equally, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced plans of stripping off tariffs on more than 50 countries, including African countries, saying these countries have robbed and raped the U.S. for too long. Aloysius Likie has these stories in this report.
The future of South Africa's government national unity has been thrown into doubt after a key partner in the coalition voted against the 2025 budget. Lawmakers passed the controversial fiscal framework on Wednesday by 194 to 182, with the main striking point being an increase in value-added tax, the VAT. The Democratic Alliance DA rejected the fiscal framework together with opposition parties. The contentious budget will raise the country's value-added tax by 0.5 percentage point from next month. It will be raised another 0.5 percentage point in the following year, putting the rate of value-added tax at 16% in 2026 and 2027. Value-added tax is payable on goods and services, including food and electricity, and the current budget has been criticized by opposition parties as anti-poor, as it will raise the cost of living. According to the latest budget, more than 20 million people in South Africa rely on welfare grants, with the country's unemployment rate at just over 32%. Amid slow economic growth and high unemployment rate, the 0.5% increase is estimated to generate about £800 in revenue annually. Thousands of Haitians took to the street of the capital Port-au-Prince on Wednesday, demanding that the government keep them safe amidst the ongoing gang violence. Many demonstrators clutched tree boughs or palm fronds, while some carried machetes and firearms at schools, banks, and other businesses remain closed in the city. The protests began peacefully, but gunfire erupted later in the day, with whistling bullets causing the large crowd to flee in panic as protesters clashed with the police. Flaming tires blocked roads as protesters chanted, let's go," and "get them out." It is the first major protest to hit the administration of Alex Didier Felix Aimé, appointed as Prime Minister in November. Armed gangs control nearly all of the capital and surrounding areas, and discontent and anger is spreading over the transitional government's failure to hold them off. The violence has forced over 1 million people from their homes, contributing to a freezing of the economy and fueling mass hunger.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day.
United States President Donald Trump announced plans for sweeping tariffs Wednesday, saying our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, plundered by other nations. The aggressive rhetoric came as Trump showed a willingness to dismantle a global economic system that the United States helped to build after World War I.
Tariffs give our country protection against those that would do us economic harm, and many people were looking to do us economic harm. Maybe not so obviously, but they were doing tremendous economic harm. But even more importantly, they will give us growth. These tariffs are going to give us growth like you haven't seen before, and it'll be something very special.
Trump's tariff include a baseline 10% on all imports and much higher duties on some of the country's biggest trading partners. He claims they will give the United States protection against countries looking to do it economic harm.
For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen, we have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream.
Trump also claims that the new duties will give the U.S. growth like you haven't seen before, and it will be something very special. He said ordinary American workers have suffered gravely because of the policies of other countries.
Before we conclude today's edition of the news, let's talk sports. The Cadet Lions of Cameroon have obtained their first point in the ongoing CAF Under-17 African Cup of Nations after playing a goalless draw with South Africa in Casablanca. Cameroon must now win their final group match against Egypt to qualify for the knockout stage of the competition. From our newsroom, our sport reporter Father Solomon Lyonga tells us more.
In spite of their exceptional ball control and accurate passing, the Cadet Lions of Cameroon will have to manage a single point. On Sunday, 6th of April 2025 at 5 p.m., in a match they must win at all costs.
We wish the Cadet Lions good luck in their next game against Egypt. And that sport report brings us to the end of this primetime news. Before we go, let us revisit the top stories. Members of the steering committee of the 75th anniversary celebration are fine-tuning preparations ahead of the peak celebration on May 7, 2025. The body met on April 2nd at the Pastoral Center to put in place strategies in order to surmount challenges that may stand in the way of the peak celebration. Today, April 3, marks exactly 4 years since the passing into glory of Christian Cardinal Tumi. In this newscast, we revisited some moments which stood out during the prelate's life. And in sports, the Under-17 Lions of Cameroon have recorded a point in the ongoing CAF Under-17 African Cup of Nations. This comes after a goalless draw with South Africa in Casablanca. This was a package prepared for you this 3rd of April 2025. God willing, you join us tomorrow for yet another package of the newscast here on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. Have a blessed evening in the company of programs on Divine Mercy Radio Television. Good night.